Hello everyone. Today, we are excited to bring you an inspiring story about discovering your own strengths, understanding your differences, and learning how dedication and consistent practice can lead you to true success. This story reminds us that every person is unique, and when we recognize our talents and adopt the right mindset, we can excel in our own way. Along the journey, we will also pick up new English words and expressions in a simple and enjoyable manner, so stay with us until the very end. Once upon a time, in a small and peaceful town, there lived a family in a quiet corner of the city. They had a 12-year-old son named David, who was in the 6th grade. David was an energetic and cheerful boy who loved spending time outdoors. His favorite activity of all was playing soccer. Almost every day after school, he would rush to the nearby public field, where he practiced tirelessly, improving his skills and enjoying every moment of the game. One afternoon, after returning home from school, David dropped his backpack by the door and slumped onto the couch. He looked unusually quiet and deep in thought. He picked up his math book, stared at it for a few seconds, then leaned back against the soft cushions with a disappointed expression on his face. His father, who had just finished working in the backyard, noticed this change in David's behavior and immediately sensed that something was wrong. He sat down beside his son and gently asked what was bothering him. David explained that he had received a poor grade in math that day. However, the grade itself was not what upset him the most. What truly troubled him was the fact that his close friend and neighbor, Matt, always seemed to get excellent scores in math. No matter how hard David tried, he felt that he could never match Matt's performance. Seeing his son's frustration, David's father brought him a glass of water and encouraged him to take a moment to calm down. Once David felt a bit more relaxed, his father invited him outside into their small backyard garden. The garden was filled with shady trees, fresh air, and a peaceful atmosphere that made it easier to think clearly. David, his father began kindly, I want you to understand 3 important lessons from what happened today. These lessons will guide you not only now, but also as you grow older. David, who deeply respected his father, felt curious yet slightly confused. Can you explain those lessons to me, Dad? He asked. You will learn each lesson one by one through a small challenge, his father replied with a gentle smile. After a short pause, his father continued. For the first lesson, I want you to invite Matt to play soccer with you tomorrow. David nodded, eager to see what his father was trying to teach him. The next morning, the weather was bright and pleasant. David went to school feeling excited and motivated. That afternoon, after school ended, he invited Matt to join him for a soccer game at the nearby field. As expected, David played confidently and skillfully. He scored 3 goals and helped his team achieve a clear victory. Matt, on the other hand, struggled throughout the game. He often lost control of the ball and made several mistakes, as he was not very familiar with soccer. Despite this, everyone enjoyed the game and had a great time. After the match, David hurried home and met his father in the backyard. Dad, I played soccer with Matt today, David said eagerly. What is the first lesson you want to teach me? His father smiled and asked him to describe how the game went. David proudly told him about his 3 goals and mentioned that Matt was not very good at soccer. His father nodded thoughtfully and said, David, Matt may not be good at soccer, but he is excellent at math. Just like you may struggle with math, but you excel at soccer. Everyone is different, and that is perfectly okay. We all have our own strengths, talents, and passions. At that moment, David felt a wave of understanding. He realized that people do not need to be the same to be successful. Each person shines in their own way. Curious and eager to learn more, David asked about the second lesson. For the second lesson, his father said, I want you to carefully observe Matt tomorrow at school. Pay attention to how often you see him counting or working with numbers. The next day, David followed his father's advice. Throughout the school day, he quietly observed Matt and noticed something interesting. Matt was constantly engaged in math-related activities. He solved problems during class, worked on puzzles, calculated change during recess, and even counted the petals on a flower while sitting outside. That evening, David excitedly shared his observations with his father. That's the second lesson, his father said warmly. Matt is good at math because he enjoys it and practices it often. If you want to become better at something, you must practice regularly. Improvement doesn't always come from big efforts. It can start with simple habits, just like counting petals on a flower. David smiled, realizing that consistent practice had helped him improve at soccer, and it could also help him improve in other areas of life. Without hesitation, David asked about the third and final lesson. His father thought for a moment and said, For the last lesson, think about how much better Matt is at math compared to you. After a brief pause, David replied honestly, I think Matt is about 3 times better at math than I am. All right, his father said. Then for the final challenge, I want you to study math 3 times harder tomorrow. The next day, after school, David sat down to study math with determination. He studied for 1 hour, then pushed himself to continue for 2 more hours. However, the intense effort quickly exhausted him. His head began to ache, and without realizing it, he fell asleep. Later, that evening, his father gently woke him for dinner and invited him back to the garden afterward. Feeling disappointed, David apologized and admitted that he couldn't complete the challenge. His father gently patted his head and said, David, this is what happens when you force yourself to master something you don't enjoy. Discipline and consistency are difficult when passion is missing. But when you study or practice something you truly love, discipline feels lighter and more natural, just like your dedication to soccer. After a brief silence, his father gave him one final piece of advice. If you want to be truly smart and become an expert at something, either study what you love or learn to love what you're studying. David, filled with admiration for his father's wisdom, promised to remember these 3 lessons for the rest of his life. Today, through this story, we learned not only valuable life lessons, but also new English words and expressions. Remember, learning English becomes enjoyable when you practice regularly and stay motivated. Keep listening, keep learning, and keep growing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story, where we continue learning together.